So we've got the center section back on the bench again, fuselage just sort of wrapped up and the wings strapped up into the rafters again. Boy, it's fun trying to juggle something like this in a little shed, but we're getting there. This is what we've got. So yeah, the center section's sort of, I've got the numbers I needed, and we're sort of going from there. So added where the bell crank for the aileron's going to sit, about there. Also the attach points for the wing, that'll be there. So that's just a pilot hole for now, but it'll get bigger. And also the flap push rod will come through here, and there'll be some sort of a mechanism for a flap lever there. And next thing is to beef all that area up. I'm sort of going overkill with this center section, especially these uprights here, and of course the skin across the top's going to be fairly solid as well, purely because if I ever have a problem in an accident and end up flipping this thing, this is going to stop the fuselage from crushing me. I've had a very good friend not long ago flip his aircraft, and the only thing that stopped his head from getting crushed was the center section. So I sort of want to take the time to get this right, so if that ever happens I can sort of talk about it over a beer later on. So yeah, a little bit of extra thought goes into it. And yeah, so you can also notice there the angle of incidence on this wing compared to the fuselage is fairly rough there, but it's quite high compared to a lot of other aircraft, but that's just this design. And yeah, this is actually the plans that I've actually originally had, and pretty much I haven't followed it at all, but they have some good ideas from time to time in here which I've used. So this one's just an example. So this is a flap lever. I'm going to use these points here, and I'll use the flap handle as an idea itself, but that's it. So mine will have, it won't have a bell crank. The flap lever will be attached directly to the torque tube, but yeah, basically these numbers and everything else I'll make up as I go. Got a few other ideas I've jotted down on a piece of paper just for that part there, and we'll see what it turns out like in the end. Yeah, fun times. Fun. My front center section carry through box, well, half of it, the other half is over there, I've got to put it on yet. But yeah, so this is, these doublers here is where I'm going to put a wire brace, a cross brace from there to there, well, down to the strut, just to reinforce it, give me those warm fuzzy feelings when I'm flying about. I just use a snap, 8th snap in a big steel block and a hammer, so I can sit the rivet upside down and bash away like that. Seems to get good results. So the second half, so this bit here, it'll sit in like that, and then we'll rivet all of those through there. Well, only these bits here from the web back. Leave this open because there's a skin going along there. And these doublers also, so they'll go like that, and then they'll pick up, leave it there, they'll pick up on this bit, like that, rivet it onto the vertical post there. More to come. So I've just riveted those, the rear part onto the front part. Of course, I've only done these bits here. This skin goes here, And the reason why I put those in now is because this extra doubler here, or the webbing, makes life a bit difficult to try and get in there. So the next challenge will be to get a dolly in there to rivet up this plate here. But we can do that. So that goes like that, and then some solids will go in there. So revert back to the old rivet gun and steel bucking bar and go from there. There we are, all loaded up. That one and that one. Not much room in there, so we'll see how we go. That's the next challenge. And that, boys and girls, is how it's done. It wasn't too hard after all of that. A little bit of thought and planning, but we're all done. So that is the forward section done. It can go back up onto the jig now and go in permanent. Forward center section clecoed into place. So the next step is to rivet that onto the forward posts. So these will be Cherry Max through there. Can't really get in there with solids. I left these two out because when the wing tank comes through in here, I've got to space that out so it's a solid thing right the way through there. So these rivets here will help me just hold those spaces in place. There's those center section braces, so it's going to be a wire going from there down to that bolt, and same with the other one. So that one from there will go down to this one. So that'll just stiffen that all up. Rivets there, holes all ready for the skin to go across the top. Still got some work to do. So basically what I've done here will happen back here, just that I got a few extra little things to do in here. There's my aileron idler, so there's some funky business to go on in through here because there's a push rod tube going in here, so the skin's going to have this funky shape. And these here will probably end up as structural screws, because there's only 3 of them per web hanging onto that, whereas at the front one there's a lot more rivets. So they'll probably end up being anchor nuts and screws in there. I've already got a doubler in there as well, and a few other funky businesses. A flap selector will be in here, and fuel lines. I've got to work all that sort of stuff out. So a bit more nutting out for this back bit. But yeah, progress. Don't know if you can see this in the video, but you can sort of see this trailing edge here from, obviously that's an angle that goes from there to there, and rivets onto another angle that goes from there around the other way. The edges here, I've rolled them in. I don't know if you can see that. So they roll around. So not only does it stiffen that edge up, but it's nice and smooth. It finishes it off a bit better. You can see the same as on this side here. So that edge has been rolled over instead of just a flat edge like here. This one hasn't been done yet, so you can see the skin just comes along and finishes there, and you can sort of see a bit of a gap there. So if you spend the time, and it takes a bit of knocking about, but to roll it around, it just finishes off the whole job so much nicer. And it adds just a little bit of strength to it as well. So a little bit extra effort, but the end result is a win-win.